Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another Kerbal space program. It looks like I had to completely rebuild this thing from scratch from the videos because it did crash, and I hadn't saved it properly, but it's been properly saved now. So let's try that test flight again. Let's see if we can actually get off of the ground. And I'm going to do a rocket-style launch from the runway, because you can actually do that. Go figure. Alright, a G will get me all the appropriate functions I desire, all of the landing gear in and the legs out. Now, the engines normally require a significant amount of intake air in order to function at all. However, as you can clearly see, the two scoops here, the radial air intakes, are actually showing an airspeed for some reason. I do not know why, but I'm fairly certain that that is not normal. Not even slightly. However, it is enough to mean that I can just crank this thing all the way up. Activate this engine, activate everything else, and on maximum power. Alright, now I know it takes a moment for you to actually get your charge built up here. So let's see, is it going to be enough thrust? Oh, it's close. It's close. It's actually enough thrust. Okay, so if this thing can take off from Kerbal, no matter how slowly, it should be capable of landing and then subsequently taking off from the Mun. No problems, and I'm just gonna fly it here just because I can. Sweet. Uh-oh. Oh, that was not what I intended. I clearly cannot take the landing legs back in now because it would not work. It just would not work. Okay, let's see if I can eject them. I have to kill them and then quickly re-establish thrust. Sweet. I have successfully flown my craft! Stage 2! Ha! 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 We're going to the Mun. Oh yeah. We are definitely going to the Mun. Wow, that actually worked? I was not expecting that to work. I was totally expecting some horrible death of some kind while I was doing that turn. Oh crap. There it is. I turned too hard. I should have used the fine-tuned controls, or possibly a joystick. That might have been a better idea. Anyway, with that, we have successfully established our Stage 2, which should be capable of landing upon the Mun. The last thing I'm going to do with this is I am actually going to add some strutting. It's not wanting to cooperate here. Oh, and my copy wasn't on. Here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of strutting here to the front and the back, because we want to make sure that even if it's a harder landing, it doesn't detonate on itself, because, you know, that would suck. Do a little bit of a crossover here. You two can attach to that, like so. And I changed my mind about one thing. I want RCS thrusters on the bottom. Just because I do. I want them. So we're gonna put the RCS thrusters on the bottom. Where's the other guy? He's hiding up here. Okay, so I'll put him. Whoa, what are you doing? Wow, you're all skiddly wonkus on that thing, aren't you? Okay, fine. We'll put you down here then, you little numpty. Does that mean you're all skiddly wonkus? You are all skiddly wonkus too. Okay, you can go down here too then. That'll work for me. That will work for me. Alright, so we have our Mun lander that is technically a spacecraft, or technically an aircraft that when returned to Earth, Kerbin, whatever you want to call it, I can never remember, it should be able to land. and travel a significant distance if I'm not, you know, right on top of the facility, which I probably won't be. In fact, it's very likely that I'm going to fail miserably at that. Now, I don't exactly have a lot of space to work with here, because while I would like to actually go into the I'd like to go into the space hangar, or no, I'd like to go into the rocket hangar right now, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't bring this into the rocket hangar. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can. Let me try something. Woo! Guess what? It really is just as simple as copying and pasting it into a different folder. Ha! Sweet. Okay, so we now have it here in the spaceplane, or no, not in the spaceplane hangar, the vehicle assembly building. Let's see. So we've got what did I just do? What about raise lower? Right, that's what it was. Okay, so where's these things? Okay, wait, RCS brakes. Ah, there you are. Why are you over here? No. Wait, that's you guys again. I'm confused. I am very, very confused. I don't know what I've done. I think I might have just broken something. Okay, well, I've got these two in here. So, I mean, it should work, right? Apparently those things have lights on them. Entertaining. I did not know they had lights on them. We've got RCS, and then under brakes, they're here again. Oh, right, because that's where their brake function is. Right, okay. So, where are the landing struts? Because I want them to be... Okay, I want to create a custom toggle legs, right? Okay, so I want that to be an action group. Good. I'm kind of just stumbling through the dark here. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to guess that if I go back to my settings, input, is there... Aha! There is. Okay, so custom action 1, we'll just put it on button... No? No, you don't like that? Is it being used for something else? I tried to push the 1 key for anybody who's curious. I don't think it's being used for anything else. No. So, Alpha 1. I don't even have an Alpha 1. Oh, apparently that's exactly what it is. Huh. Right. Alpha, as in number. Okay, then. Why didn't it just say 1? That would have been much more... Anyway. Okay, so let's go back in there and actually put it on the pad and see if that does what I think it'll do. I hope so. Because if not, I'm a derp. Okay, load. Well, I'm already a derp, I suppose. Load. And launch. Put it on the pad for me, please. Did I miss it? I missed it. I missed the button. Failure. Okay. Come on. There we go. And loaded. Okay, now, if I push G, No, it still triggers all of them. Alright, well that's fine, but then if I push 1... Oh, wait, that's F1. I want regular 1. Whoa! There it goes. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that appears to have worked. The 1 key is now capable of separately controlling the landing gear. Or the landing legs, that is. It just took a second for it to do anything for some reason. Whatever. Okay, end flight. Yes. Space plane hangar. What? What? I think I broke something. I don't... Oh, jeez. Okay. Unlander load. Just put it up here. It's probably a setting in the file somewhere that hasn't... Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, so... Center of thrust, center of mass. Center of mass is actually quite well centered still. Okay, that's good. That would make this very difficult to fly if this thing didn't have an even center of gravity. And I'm kind of surprised it's still so close to the middle. I did add quite a bit of weight just all willy-nilly. Oh well. Okay, so a few things to do. First things first, I need a way of adding stages, and I do not want to put a connector on these tiny little things because I have a feeling impact tolerance 12, impact tolerance 4. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're not capable of supporting hardly any weight at all. Now the other question remains is, what about you? You're not exactly much better, are you? We're going to have to find some interesting ways of supporting this thing, or it's going to wind up blowing itself up. So if I get structural here... This is new ground, or I would probably just skip over it. But don't worry, there will be lots of skipping when I actually get into orbit and I'm not doing anything but flying. Decoupler, that's the big one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the big one. That's not going to do us any good here. We need the smaller one. Oh, hey, look. They have small decouplers. That's neat. Still going to have to do this in 2s. I did not know it added small decouplers. That's kind of cool. Okay, so if I do... Is there any way for me... No, I can't even put a decoupler on that thing, even if I wanted to. I am slightly disappointed by that, actually. I would have liked to put something here and stack it there instead of having to go with a 4-stack. I would have much preferred to do a central stack. Great. Okay, so it looks like I am going to have to do a 4-stack. I mean, I just am. So, is there a difference in the impact tolerance? 5, 9... Okay, well, it doesn't really matter. These things have really, really low impact tolerance as it is. I don't suppose you did. Oh, well, thank you so much, Small Parts Mod. You are awesome. So, you can know what you're doing. Okay, and now just to be safe, let's see, can I? No, I can only do it 2 times here. That's okay. We'll do there. No, I said from there to there. Thank you. Okay, and then that seems to have just kind of rotated it by 90 degrees. So, okay, so I could do one from. It looks like I'm gonna have to do 4 Z's on this. That's okay. It can be done. A little bit awkward angles, but it can be done. Okay, so we've got this up to that. Well, I didn't check the impact tolerance on that. The impact tolerance on that is also only 4. So me putting struts on this is completely pointless. It doesn't have any better or worse impact tolerance. Oh no, get back on there. Thank you, Control Z. Okay, so there's no point in adding these struts. They won't do anything, considering everything's impact tolerance is only 4. The fuel tanks have a higher impact tolerance, don't they? Not really. Huh. 6, huh? Well, I guess I can work with that. There is something I should probably do. This normally wouldn't matter very much, but this is going to be the top stage of my spacecraft, and it will have to go through the atmosphere for at least a little while. So what I'm going to do is structurally, and I gotta remember to add this stuff because that's gonna be kind of important. Actually, that's going to be very important. Oh, wait a minute. SAS modules, total mass 0.07, drag 0.2. Advanced SAS, total mass 0.0125, total drag point. Darn, they don't weigh the same. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do the, oh, wait. What? Oh, crap. They're off-centered! Ah! Oh wait, no they're not. I'm just a twit who somehow managed to install the RCS like that. Okay. Control Z. Will you save me? Yes, you will. I love you. Okay, so let's try that again. You know, install them on top of the stacks. This is going to provide my vehicle with a lot of RCS, which I'm not entirely sure if that's a good thing or not. But yeah. And then, since I'm adding them... Wait, is that... Oh, that's a small advanced SAS. Where's the regular advanced SAS? Total mass 0.1. 0.07. Nope. I mean, that's still not going to work. But this does slightly change up what I was planning on doing. I'm going to go back to structural, the small adapters, and put small adapters on here. And then I'm going to add my small advanced SAS, like so. And now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to hope that there is, no, I'm sorry, it's under aerodynamic, that there is a small version of the aerodynamic nose cone. Is there a small version of the aerodynamic nose cone? Oh wait, no, there's just a standard nose cone. I don't need a small version. Sweet! Okay, so that'll give me SAS and advanced SAS on the entire thing, but clearly I don't really need all that extra weight after I've gotten into space. The SAS modules will come in handy. The advanced SAS, not so much. I don't believe that those small nuclear engines have gimbaling, so they're not going to be of any use, are they? No, it does have... Okay. Alright, I'm now in a bit of a conundrum here. No. What does this weigh? This weighs 2.25. And I have added how much weight here? 0.0125. We got the nose cone on here as a 0.1. And then we got 4 of these. No, we got 4 of these things, which is like nothing. And then 4 of these things, which is still like practically nothing. Okay, you know what? Fine. That's fine. We'll leave it like that. It doesn't matter. We're going to be jettisoning that stuff anyway. But now that I have added SAS and advanced SAS to this, I am going to need to further support. Alrighty, sorry about that. Now then, where were we? Ah, yes. Wait, why are you up there? Oh, you're gonna make this weird, aren't you? Oh, I know. If I just do it from there to there... No. You still... Oh, you're over on the other side. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I can work with that. I can work with that. Put you up there. And then we'll do another one to down here. The biggest problem I'm going to have is that a lot of torque and twistiness, mostly from the SAS modules. But if I don't properly support it, there will be problems. Okay, so got that across there. That's more stable. Turn off symmetry here because it's just not going to work. I need one across there and one across here. Okay, that should keep it from moving very much. I did still want, and I can use some symmetry for this. I did still want to put like that. Did that work? No, it didn't, because the thing's in the way. Okay, turn off symmetry then. Oy vey. Oh, it'll be fine. No, it won't. No, it won't be fine. You know better than that. Okay, so attach that here. Do another one over here. I'm running back into old school, figuring out how to do symmetry again. Just had to line up all the pixels. It was really tedious. Okay, so now this thing is kind of in the way. So it's gonna have to be a slightly lower attachment. Hopefully that won't screw it up too bad, you know. Catastrophic failure upon moon landing because it was uneven right there. The whole thing folds this way. Oh boy. Okay, so we've got that established, and we're gonna have to do a quad stack in order to really do anything, because I can't stack on this thing. So our next step would be to put in some fuel tanks. I'm going to see if it's capable of doing it just on... What in the world? There's a small fuel tank. Holy crap. I didn't even notice. There's even a small big one. Huh. Well, that's neat. I could have used smalls for that. It would have actually flown... no. I think we're going to stick with the big ones. We're going to stick with the big ones, because, yeah. Oh, but on that note, I should really put the big tanks here. Yeah, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I need to run a test with the regular old engines here. Just the regular liquid fuels. I believe they're 225. No, 215. Just the regular old 215 liquid fuels. Can I... Why did that... What did that... Oh. Well, okay. I have definitely broken something with the symmetry. Okay. I'll go from here to there. And did that do it? I think it did. It did. How entertainingly useful. Okay, so we'll put that there and that there. I broke this. I broke the symmetry. I mean, I just did. But it's working oddly in my favor. Okay, now let's save this. Launch it. And I'm not going to worry about fuel flow. I know it's probably going to suck fuel from somewhere. I don't want it to be sucking fuel, but we'll worry about that when we actually go for the launch. Let's just see if this has sufficient thrust to... Wow, okay, that was not good. I'm definitely going to have to add some support struts somewhere because that was squishy as all heck and scared the shit out of me. Okay, well. Push G and get the landing gear in. Wait for this landing gear to finish its extension, and then we'll push that. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to do this from 0 and slowly bring it up because of that squish there. I don't want to go fix that yet. I want to see if it'll even fly first. Ooh. Half throttle. It will fly at half throttle. that worked surprisingly well. It's capable of governing its own center because of the great big old wings and flaps I've stuck on it. Although it's not having much luck governing its... No, maybe it is. Okay, so end flight. No, space center. Right, that's gonna be a bit irritating every time that happens. Load. Oh, right. Load the autosaved because I'm a derp and didn't save it right. There we go. Save it. Okay. So that worked. That was actually more than I was expecting. So let's yank those off. I mean, half throttle, and I was capable of lifting off. I should be able to get... yeah. I'm going to get away with this. Put you there. Put you there, like so. Alright, now I need to add some more strutting to the bottom. And it's going to do its weird strut thing again. Which means I have to go over here to add these struts. And then from here to here. And then over here to do from here to here. Yes, good. Okay, now, I didn't do this because it didn't think it was going to actually make a difference, but it would appear that I'm going to need to. So, on second thought, well, that's not going to work because of the funny symmetry thing. Yeah, okay, so we'll attach you there like that. Then we'll come over here, do another one. And then we can come over to this side to do the other two because of the weird symmetry. Like so. And then for you, there to there. Alright, and now I gotta do the same for the other side. Oh joy. The landing gear is in the way. Or is it? Oh no, it's not in the way. Never mind. I'm just crazy. It's almost in the way. It's not quite though. Not quite. Not quite. But that does mean I'm gonna have to do the connections from in here. Weird, funny angles to get them to line up right. And then there to there. Okay. Now I know some of those aren't very straight. I'm not surprised. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. What I am going to do is I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna put one right here and see if I can get away with a 4 and then put it on this thing right about, no, let's put it down here, right there. Now did that work on the other side? It did. Okay, good. Okay, this, I feel much better about this. This thing shouldn't squish so much now. Alright, now I need to save it and I want to launch it again. Yeah, I gotta launch it again. I gotta make sure it can still take off pretty good. And then the question is, are we going to simply asparagus stack small stages like what we currently have, or do we want to asparagus stack some larger ones? I could probably do 3 small or 4 large, or 3 small or 2 large. Okay, that was significantly more stable. It didn't jiggle around nearly so bad. So I'm going to put the SAS on here because I can. Suck up the landing gear. It'll do its weird little funny thing. Get the lander legs to come back up. There we go. Alrighty then. Now that we've got that taken care of, maximum power. Away. Okay, capable of lifting off, traveling in a relatively straight manner. Doesn't appear to be going anywhere wobbly-wise. Let's just see where we can get on these 4, or rather I should say 8 fuel tanks and 4 engines, just to see how high we can go. actually got a lot higher than I was expecting. Periapsis of 60K. I mean, that is actually out of the atmosphere. Huh. Yeah, and the flight. Return to... No, not the hangar. Bugger. Okay, so that actually made it out of the atmosphere. That got a lot higher than I was actually expecting. So, I don't think it's actually going to be... Oh, come on. I need to hit this. Load. Because again, I derped and forgot to hit the save key. There we go. Okay. So that made it a lot higher than I was expecting. It just kept going and going and going. So, if I stick... Where's my... Ooh. Will you now? You're okay with that, huh? There's actually enough room for that. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna be using these boys. Yeah. With the addition of that stage, I should be able to easily be able to get into orbit. And I'm gonna add additional of these. That's gonna be my guess. That will be right about where I want it to be. Alrighty then. And now, just for the sake of making sure that it doesn't collide and blow up on itself, even though these don't have gimbling. I don't think they have gimbling. I hope they don't have gimbling. Why would you put gimbling on those? That would be stupid. It doesn't really matter though. I can easily turn off the gimbling if they do gimbal, and I do hope they don't. Anyway, save. Launch. Let's see if how this takes off. If it gets off the ground with some pretty good gusto, I may want to add a slightly larger fuel tank instead of the silvery ones. We'll put an orange one on there. Let's find out how much thrust it takes to get you to lift off. And I don't think I'm going to need to worry about anything on the bottom. The top should be able to handle everything. Okay, why are you wobbling? You're just doing a little dance. Okay, well, let's turn on the SAS there. And retract the landing gear. There we go. Okay. And, oh, that's why you're dancing. Right, I gotta remember to put you on, whoa! Well then, end flight. No, I want the space center, not the tracking station. Bugger! Okay, that was fun. Didn't even get out the landing pad. Auto saved, load. Okay, so clearly you are not a fan of the fact of just sitting on the ground. Yeah, I don't blame you. So, oh, wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm a real idiot. I got it up there, right? Yeah, okay, good. Good. Not totally stupid. Not quite. So I need a regular decoupler. No, not you. No, not you. Ah, here it is. That's what we needed. Alright, and then if I just reinstall you guys, did I get those in the right places? No. Okay, so if I nick you and instead stick you over here, then does it work? No. Well, almost. How about now? There we go. Okay, and then last but not least, we need some launch stability enhancers because it's simply not capable of supporting its own weight. Save, launch, clear the launch pad, and proceed. There it is, in all of its glory. Now then, are you going to be weird? No, you're still dancing a little bit, but not nearly as bad. Okay, so activate the SAS. Let's see, can I just raise the gear manually here? Did that raise this one? No. Okay, there we go. All the gears raised. And just for shits and giggles. No, apparently that's not the right button. Lights. Yeah, they got lights on the front of them. Holy crap. That could actually be really useful for night landings. Yeah. No idea what button it is, though. Just this one at the top. Okay, so it hasn't exploded yet, so I'm going to assume that this will actually function. And where are my decouplers? Oh, they're down there. I kind of didn't want them to detach. Oh, well. We'll stick it at full throttle and see what happens. Ooh. Okay, so that took off with some pretty decent gusto, but I was afraid of that. Oh, and it took the... You had to take the engine. You couldn't have left me the engine. I mean, that would have been fine. Ah, end flight. Damn! Space Center. Okay. I think I can still fix this, though. Fairly certain I can. Right, load, auto-saved. It's a bit of an awkward process because I built that plane in the space plane hangar, making this weird. Okay, so I've got lots of struts on this thing, keeping it, you know, secure in certain angles, but I didn't do any diagonal ones. So let's see if I can actually do this. Oh, right. Derp. Undo. Give it a second. That was a big part. Are you not undoing? How about now? Okay, there it goes. Okay. You. Okay. X. There we go. Now that we've got our appropriate duplication procedure. Ah, good. That did do what I was expecting. Okay, and then there to there. Okay, good. So now that accounts for diagonal movement. That should keep it from being so squirrely up on the top. Now that's not going to help me on the bottom here, but that's okay. That's why we're gonna do this. Now that did... No, it did not work over here. Did you work? You did. So why didn't you? Oh wait, I didn't think I could grab it there for a sec. Okay, let's try this again. If I do it from there to there... Nope. Still doesn't work. Okay, fine. Do it from there to there. Now will you... No, you're still being weird. Ugh. Okay, fine. No duplication. I'll just do it manually. Please. Okay, good. Here to here. Oh. What? Alright, fine. Get rid of all symmetry. How about from... No. Then you're still being weird. Come on. Okay, is the mesh off or something? That was colossally awkward. Okay, so now that that has happened, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here. Turn my symmetry back on. Gonna... What? Okay, it really is off, isn't it? Interesting. I'm gonna create a little X There. Oh, we gotta do that to the exact opposite side. Where was that? It was right about there. I want to, you know, at least be semi-close to what it was before. So then we'll do from there to there. Okay, so this is a little bit weird because I don't have any room to work with in between these. Although I do have that. Alright, let's see. If I do something from there, and then turn around the other side, go down a little bit. Doesn't look like it's gonna work. Wait. It's just too long. There. That worked. Holy cow, I can't believe that worked. Huh. Okay, well, let's do it to the other side, too. If I can see what I'm doing. There we go. You, and... Oh. Oh, right. It's okay. It'll still work. It's just being weirdness. Okay, now I have to get it high enough up there that it can connect, because if it's too long, they won't connect. Okay, so that's a little skiddly-wonkus. No, it's not too bad. At least it's straight. Okay, well, with that, I must leave you for this episode. Come back next time, where I have a feeling we're going to be landing on the Mun. And then, if we're lucky, we're going to return to Kerbal with our little plane and land him back at the hangar. That's the idea, anyway. Whether or not it actually happens, I am skeptical, to say the least. See ya.